Sunday papers, taking the news of the day. They don't let facts get in their way. Sunday papers. No, they don't fact check the things they say, but we all listen anyway. Fitzsimmons is on the microphone. Mike Gibbons is always in the zone. They've got the quickest wits, and Craig's obsessed with Blondie's tits. Dear Amy, can you hear them reading from afar? Fitz dog steers the bicycle, and Mike rides on the handlebars. Sunday papers, taking the news of the day. They don't let facts get in their way. Sundays.
Read all about it. Read all. You don't have to read all about it. You can listen all about it. That's what we should be saying, Mike Gibbons. It's the Sunday papers.
I can't find our screen. I've always been wondering what you're saying.
Yeah, it's weird how few people are reading the paper anymore, but I'll tell you what, it's not easy getting the ones I like online. Washington Post gives me two stories a month.
Yeah, they've cut down on that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel good support. I like the New York Times. I have a subscription. I feel good about, look, they've got fucking reporters in 100 countries around the world. It's like, yeah, I can cough up $5 a month to help support that.
Even the people that are critical of like, oh, left-leaning New York Times, it's like the best, even the crossword puzzle, whatever it is, the best science section. They just have the best journalists, the top in every field.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy it for the sports, but everybody knows that. But even like cooking, they make 5 easy meals a week, which is what I need. I need that, just please. And you print it out. Like
it is liberal though. When you go to the arts and leisure section and you want to read about like, Eddie Van Halen dying, it's like, first you got to get through the article about the transsexual ballet dancer who's playing bongos with a Cuban guy to raise money for it's like, it's so fucking woke. Every single story is about somebody who's breaking through a hardship because of they're oppressed.
No, at every wedding, all the wedding announcements, which are famous in the New York Times, everyone reads, it's like, he's a triple trans, man to woman, woman to man, man to woman again. That's when he found his love.
Right. Here comes the groom. Yeah. And, it is the paper of record, though. It's the one that if they make a mistake, they admit it. And you don't see that in enough news outlets.
Oh my God, they take that shit so seriously. Yeah.
Can we mention what's over your left shoulder right now?
Yeah, so I'm going to be awkwardly adjusting because I'm backlit, but I thought it'd be nice for the few YouTubers to see. This is out the window in Jackson Hole. I can't tell if you can see the snow up there. So
I thought it was a cloud.
We arrived 2 days after summer abruptly ended. So when we came over the pass, so we were in Zion last week.
You and your daughters.
Back of a car. Yeah, out here with my daughters doing Zoom schooling and all that stuff. So we then drive up Utah into Idaho and then come over the pass, which is the Teton Pass from Idaho down into Wilson, Wyoming, but really into Jackson Hole area. And when we get to the top of the pass, lots of snow everywhere. So,
wow.
It had just snowed the day before we got here. And then last night it was 25. And then today it reached 50. Went fly fishing yesterday, basically froze for 4 hours on the river. And I'm the biggest city pussy out here. Like they're all like, fine. I'm like, do you have gloves? And, but like, you get cold to the bone, especially when you're on water, like the kind of cold that doesn't leave for hours, even when you're back inside.
Yeah, that sounds miserable. That's miserable.
We caught fish though.
So Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, will you keep in touch with the black people that you met on this trip?
All of them. Well, Kanye's nearby.
Is he near
I heard
Jackson?
a funny story. So I'm talking to all the locals about Kanye. So Kanye fell in love with Jackson Hole and he used to stay at this great hotel here. And then was going to buy his compound here. But he rented a home too, I think, because he had I know he had a listening party for his CD before it came out, or his album, whatever you want to call it. And then, anyway, but then he decided he bought in Cody, Wyoming. So Cody, Wyoming is not near here, but one of the fishing guides, because the fishing guides have such great stories. Like one of the fishing guides here, a buddy of Jack's, who I'm visiting, my roommate from high school way back, he took out Nikki Sixx. Nikki Sixx bought a place here.
The bass player for Motley Crue. They're
thick as thieves now because they're both, I don't know if Nikki Sixx is totally clean, but this other friend is he doesn't do drugs, loves to drink, and was always at University of Vermont, like a big partier. Anyway, so they tell these funny stories because they get all the celebrities in their boats and then they party with them in town. So I guess Kanye's manager or whatever has a place here. Everybody, all of LA has a place here now. So anyway, Kanye calls him and goes, hey, let's go out to dinner. And the manager's like, all right. So when do you want to go? He's like, I don't know. Let's get together tonight. He's like, tonight? He's like, yeah, make a reservation. He's like, where are you? He's like, I'm in Wyoming. And he's like, yeah, but are you at your place? He's like, yeah. He's like, Kanye, Cody is 4 hours from here. Kanye has no idea.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah, he got endorsed this week by Kourtney Kardashian.
Yeah, and a lot. All right, so we're recording this on a Friday, and I guess it happened maybe yesterday, but she just got such hate because it's interpreted as, you realize that's a vote for Trump, right? When it all comes out in the wash. But the best part is Chris. It's Chris Kardashian. No, Kim. Sorry, Kim, his wife, has not even endorsed him yet.
No, she may not have gotten over when he said that he wanted her to abort their child and then cried on stage in South Carolina. I think she may be going I'm going to hold off my endorsement for now.
Somehow that was not the craziest. That was not the craziest campaign stop in this political season. It wasn't, the rally. It wasn't the most insane rally.
I know that their son North is not endorsing him, considering he wanted him killed.
Was North their first one? How many do they have? 3?
I don't know. I'm not that up on the Kardashians. It's disturbing that they have 200 million followers and that her endorsing Kanye will actually get him 1 million votes, 2 million votes.
I wonder. That's a great over-under. How many votes? By the way, he's only on the ballot
in
not many
states, I think. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, I think 7 states.
How many votes? We should try to, some listener who has the inclination to do this, find out a good over-under number on votes for Kanye.
Yeah. I would say, I think 1 million is a good over-under.
If I were a Republican who couldn't stand Trump but hates Biden, I'd vote for Kanye.
Well, and also, if I'm a Republican, I am pouring money into the coffers of Kanye West to get him votes.
If
I want Trump to win, I'm going to donate to Kanye. Yeah. And I'm sure that's happening.
Well, that's the old, I remember hearing that when Jesse Jackson was running on the Democratic ticket, all of his funding came from Republicans.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Speaking of which, NFL football, college ball, Major League playoffs, still going on. NFL, the NBA is over, of course.
Is this speaking of a black guy, or is this speaking of pouring your money into something?
I'm talking about making money, Mike. Making money the old-fashioned way.
Sorry.
Gambling with my bookie. If you, bet on anything. I think you can vote on the election, which would, and maybe I can suggest my bookie do an under-over on Kanye. That would be a good bet. You could bet the favorites. You can do parlays, which makes boring games interesting all of a sudden. Don't forget the underdogs. That's a good bet. You can do me and Mike's standing bet, which is I've got Tampa Bay to win with points, giving away points every week. And so far we are...
Not this week. You get a point.
Really?
Yep, it's Green Bay, Rodgers. So you get a point.
Good. I'm going to need it against Rodgers.
Sunday.
So we've got our $50. I think we're even right now, but it's $50 a bet with us. You can make the same bet. And when you do it, you can get $1,000 from them for the $1,000 that you put into your account, or up to $1,000. You can put in a couple hundred, you can put in whatever, and they'll match it. It's insane. So you want to do it right now. UFC cards. Again, I think you can vote for president. I think you can bet for president. Sign up today exclusively at mybookie.com. Check them out. We want to thank John Allen, who did this week's song. Catchy little riff. Yeah, it was fun. And the logo is from our friend James Woodarsick. Very weird spelling.
Woodarsick.
Woodarsick. Woodarsick, yeah. He did the Blues Brothers picture. Should we do corrections?
Woodarsick. I'm going with Woodarsick.
Woodarsick?
You have a little phonetic decoding there.
That's exactly what it is. I emailed him to say, how do I say your name? He
the
said
Woodman.
He said rhymes with carsick. And you know what? When you spell Wodarcyk, and you know, there were some good people at Ellis Island that helped people like you simplify your fucking names. Should be James Wood.
Woody. James Woods.
Woody.
Was that taken?
What was your nickname in high school?
Give a shit?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Gibby, I think, right? I mean, Gibby was my nickname. Morty, of all people, from Letterman fame, loved calling me Gibby.
Yeah, because you were always Gibbs as long as I knew you, and then all of a sudden you got to Hollywood and it was Gibby.
Yeah, which doesn't seem like an improvement at all.
No, I don't like Gibby.
Juvenile.
I think it's a stupid nickname, Gibby.
Right.
But then again, I'm the Fitz dog.
Yeah, no one's going to top that. I think I see what you're saying there. Look at it. Fitz Dog Radio.
These are collector's items because you can't get them anymore. I've got a case of them I should put them on sale for a month. I got a case of them in my fucking shed.
These are collector's items because they're no one has them. The factory's still full.
Sales were a little light on the mugs.
What a holiday gift, people. Come on.
Let's do some corrections. Snoopy406 says there was a custom photo stamp company. I talked about how I wish you could customize stamps, and you thought you could. He says there was a custom photo stamp company for 16 years. The Postal Service recently and inexplicably revoked their authorization to make the photo stamps. So you can't do it anymore.
I think if kids could do selfies and all that stuff and send maybe old school snail mail would make a comeback.
I mean, if you could make any stamp, what would I put on a stamp?
Well, you could personalize it for the person you're sending it to, whatever.
Right. If your friend is like really woke, you could send him a picture of a guy in blackface.
No, but it could be you like giving the finger to the IRS when you mail your taxes in or whatever it is.
Right. Matthew Tronchaletti said, when Gibbons asked if you went to confession at church, you said, only the first 13 years of my life. Grapefruit. Are we to believe that you received the holy sacrament of baptism and confirmation when you were a baby? Confession is usually started in preteen or teenage years, not when you're a damn baby. Okay. I fucked up.
Easy, Tronchaletti.
Confession.
Whatever your name is.
I remember going to confession, first confession, which means you need something good. You need to go in there and really, it's like Dianetics when you have to confess something that you did wrong and they videotape, or the vow. Same thing with the vow.
Yeah.
What do they call the confessions on the vow?
Collateral.
Collateral. So it started with the Catholic Church. All these cults use the same idea. You tell us something dirty about your past. We know it. And then every time we look at you, you feel ashamed because we know something about you and we might tell your parents.
And also you can't leave. It's kind of the same ploy.
Right.
Because we have the goods on you.
So
Get gay, Jimmy.
my first confession was, when Father Ryan touched me, I enjoyed it. Kind of double whammy on him.
Yeah, Father, here's my confession. I'm wearing a wire, have been for 3 months, and you guys are going down hard.
Here's my confession. I'm actually a 21-year-old FBI agent with a baby face.
How many Rosemary is that? How many?
Let's get to it. It's time for the front page, Mike.
Oh, boy.
Extra! Extra! Read all about it! Extra!
All right. Christie.
Oh, boy.
Big news. Pardon the pun. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie on Thursday urged Americans to wear masks to fight the coronavirus, which put him in intensive care for 7 days, and warned that the virus is, quote, something to take very seriously. I believed that when I entered the White House grounds that I had entered a safe zone due to the testing that I and many others underwent every day. I was wrong.
Oh,
I was wrong.
You don't hear that a lot in politics.
I was wrong to not wear a mask at the Amy Coney Barrett announcement, and I was wrong not to wear a mask at my multiple debate prep sessions with the president and the rest of the team, he said in a statement.
Maybe with the mask on, he could have eaten less. Now, why can you make fat jokes about Chris Christie and you can't about women? Why is that?
First of all, I think he's got a lot of LBs on any woman we're talking about, but I don't know. Fat jokes used to be made about women all the time. I mean, do you remember the Elizabeth Taylor jokes?
Oh, Joan. What about Joan Rivers?
That's what I
all
mean.
she did. Yeah.
Joan Rivers, kids listening. Joan Rivers, first of all, the real deal. I think basically
one of the
Miss
greatest
Maisel
of all time.
Is Miss Maisel essentially loosely based on her? So she comes up in such a boys club and all this, but she went for it. She would be on Johnny Carson. And she would say, I don't know the setup, but basically the joke was literally this. Elizabeth Taylor tried to go to McDonald's, but her thighs got caught in the arches. They all had to come out and use the French fry grease to grease her up and get behind her and push her through the arches. This is on Johnny Carson, which like 25 million people watched every night.
Dude, what about John Belushi doing his impression of Elizabeth Taylor eating a chicken and choking on a bone? And then fucking giving herself the Heimlich maneuver, spitting the chicken out, and then continuing to eat the chicken. You can't do that shit anymore.
Who were the other ones? There were other targets. Like, fat jokes happen all the time.
Mama Cass. There was a lot of Mama Cass jokes.
Yeah, especially the legend. I don't even know if it's a legend. Maybe it's true that she died, choking on a ham sandwich. But that's the legend anyway, which is the only thing that really matters. Anyway. But Chris Christie, so this is some, health issue that he's admitting he's wrong. Are you going to admit you're wrong eating like 16 hoagies a day?
Yeah, right.
Well, when are your next you know what? I was wrong. I shouldn't be carrying around 2 other men in my pants.
Right. You know what? I was wrong. I shouldn't have closed the biggest thoroughfare into the city out of a little political slight from 10 years before.
Yeah.
He's got a longer press conference he needs to hold.
Yeah. I'm wrong.
I think there's something about being an overweight politician. A politician has to project that they're strong and they're in control and they're decisive. And when you're overweight, it makes, and again, I don't want to come into the crosshairs of the overweight fucking fat alliance, but it makes people think you're not in control.
You think?
I think so. That's how I feel. When I see somebody who's fat, part of me goes like, this person doesn't have discipline.
But there's a strong fat and then a pathetic fat. I'm just going to call it that. Like you see Game of Thrones or you see Henry, any of the sort of legendary, the kings of England in their portraits anyway. And it's kind of a strong fat.
Yeah.
Orson Welles was kind of a strong, even though he wasn't, but he was kind of he really projected like a strong fat, which is authority and which is it's a sign of, it used to be a sign of wealth and that you're doing well.
Right.
Yeah, but Chris Christie has the kind that's like, I have diabetes also.
Yeah. That thick, it's the thick midsection that makes you look like you weren't born that way. You just fucking failed to stay in shape for the last 50 years.
And he has a giant baby face.
Yeah.
It could go a long way. If Chris Christie had a beard, he would look a little intimidating, I think.
Yeah.
Instead, he's putting his like 6 chins on display. He looks like some animal you throw fish to in the aquarium.
Yeah, it's like, what is that? Is that a walrus or it could be, oh no, it's the governor of New Jersey.
Remember when he dressed in a baseball uniform and threw out like the first pitch? But he dressed in the uniform and the belt was so high. He looked like Humpty Dumpty. It was insane.
Yeah. So should we talk about the debate last night? It wasn't a debate. It was two town halls.
I didn't see him, but I was shocked today to see some headlines have Biden with higher ratings.
Well, Biden was booked first, so you would imagine he'd have higher ratings because Trump's came up. It feels like it was only a few days ago they announced they were going to do theirs.
I would have never watched Biden given the choice. Who's not going to watch a train wreck?
I know. Well, apparently, conspiracy theories are abounding from the Trump camp these days. He, the moderator, Savannah Guthrie, I think she's from the Today Show. I don't know.
It was very strong performance on her part last night.
Yeah, she dug in, and when she was talking about him spouting all these conspiracy theories, she said, you're the president of the United States. You're not just someone's crazy uncle.
Oh, she literally said that.
She literally said that because he had retweeted that day a conspiracy theory that Biden and Obama orchestrated a cover-up that included the Navy SEAL Team 6 faking the death of Osama bin Laden. Like, this is the president of the United States putting that out.
Yeah.
And this is the president of the United States who will not call out QAnon.
Yeah, QAnon. Yeah, they may find that the other conspiracy theory he ran with this week was Giuliani, in the laptop of Hunter Biden and all that. So
right.
that rumor might have been spoon-fed from the Russians.
Yes, now they're saying that Giuliani has been compromised by the Russians, and that came out from the FBI intelligence. This isn't like a Democrat. This is his FBI telling him specifically, your advisor, your lawyer has been compromised by the Russians.
Yeah, it's too easy.
And specifically with information you are putting out there about this laptop that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's coming off as really desperate right now.
I don't know. It looks like he's going to get trounced. I'm just worried about the Senate.
Well,
I'm no longer worried about the election, believe it or not. And maybe I'm being very naive. I also didn't think America was this racist. So what the F do I know?
Right. Well, I'll tell you
what.
what.
I'm in my bubble. I'm in my Jackson Hole bubble, people. By the way, I am sitting in what is very often not listed, but from what I hear, the wealthiest county in the United States. And I could turn the computer. Just through those trees over there is Dick Cheney's house. This is so Republican that they don't advertise it. They don't put the Trump signs outside. They just quietly fund misinformation campaigns.
Yeah.
But it's a very Republican stronghold. There's also no state tax.
Oh.
So I think I can say this. So my buddy Jack, who's here, and your buddy too, works real estate. The virus hits, and he's like, listen, there's chatter that we might, there may be no income this year. So we don't know what's going to happen. So we got to lock down spending and stuff like that. He sells homes out here. And Jack has already, 2 months ago, doubled his best year ever.
People are moving there.
And also the 1% is just buying up. If they don't have enough second and third homes, they're buying up. And this is, obviously a gorgeous place. I think the Tetons are the most photographed mountain range in the world.
Wait, are they buying it because real estate's going to go up with the pandemic?
I don't think they really care about that. They'll buy it and hold. This is the people that you know, someone said once it's so true. After a certain point of wealth, and it's not that high, by the way, but after a certain point, everything's free. It truly is. Like if you're like, oh, I'm going to fly private from LA to New York. It's like, yeah, that's like, I don't even know what that cost, $20,000 a ticket or whatever. They made more than that on Amazon that day.
Right.
No, it's literally like,
it's also what always occurs to me is like when you read about Ellen DeGeneres buying a house for $15 million, 3 years later, she sells it for 25, and you go, she just made $10 million. Like houses in the $600,000 range don't jump by 50% in 3 years.
Right.
But when you buy a piece of art, or even like our super high-end classic Maserati, like those things double, triple, quadruple in value all the time.
But also, celebrities have the built-in thing that this was Ellen's house.
Right.
So if you're in the market to find a house where you're not allowed to make eye contact with the owner, you're going to scoop that baby up.
And you can keep the same staff because they've been beaten down. They know how to behave.
A little doggy door that only goes out, not in. All that is built into that house. Sue me. That's all allegedly.
You know, we've been talking about these guys for a while. There's an advertiser on this show that I believe they have a crush on us. If you have a business, you have software, you have a website, unless you're a genius, you need someone to help support it, integrating your different systems, even moving it all to the cloud. Don't do this stuff alone. TXMQ has been helping people in business for over 40 years. 40 years of software support. They can help you design the perfect system, integrate your different systems, they have built cool shit. You can check them out. You'll love them. Systems for banks and logistical companies, integrate government agencies. You run your business, let these guys run your technology. Get in touch today, txmq.com/SundayPapers. Tell them we sent you. I don't know how that works, that we have a / with them. I don't know how they identify that people are coming, but go check out the site, support our podcast. Also, Crowell Furniture, you know them. They sent me a floating table. They do floating tables, Mike.
I heard, and they have no legs on them, and they just they hover against the wall.
They hover against the wall, and so if you want to vacuum under your table, good fucking luck. With Crowell, that's no problem.
Yeah. Your little robot vacuums. You don't have to move stuff.
Nope.
Right underneath.
It's right underneath. If you got a dog and maybe he wants to sit under a table, not if it's got legs and it's too short. My dogs fucking run around under these tables.
Yeah, even the artificial intelligence robot vacuums, like that is impressive engineering as it looks up at it.
Made in the USA, built by hand by craftspeople in Portland, Maine. Clean, simple lines inspired by mid-century modern design. Wraparound grain, I installed it myself in about 10 minutes. And it's just real simple. It's classy. It makes you feel like you've bought something quality. Every time you look at it, you just feel like this is something I'm proud for people to look at. If you want an exclusive discount, use code GRAPEFRUIT at checkout for 10% off orders. Website or Etsy shop. What does that mean? Oh, if you go to the website, I guess their website is Crowell, KROVEL made.com. CrowellMade.com. Use code GRAPEFRUIT, get 10% off right now, and enjoy. All right.
I'd bet your night table's floating upside down if I had a bet.
Oh, you think I hung it upside down?
Yeah, operator error. Nothing against the company. I'm sure the directions were very clear.
Yeah.
Why is this drawer dumping all my stuff out every time I open it?
This is a shallow drawer.
That's right. The bottom of it. Quarter of an inch. You'd think they'd give you more.
Let's do some international, Mike.
All right. We don't want to talk about the Philly Birds.
Tell me about it.
just briefly, weird story the other week. This one time, 1,500 birds flew into some of Philly's tallest skyscrapers one day last week. The slaughter took bird watchers. So I guess there's an average amount of birds that you find dead on city streets in the morning after night. They found 1,500, and then that was only in one area, and it was in all these others. And they were trying to figure out what the hell had happened. And it was a very foggy night. It was a migration south. I just think these birds looked around and were in Philly and decided to kill themselves because it's such a shitty city. And again, I have nothing against the city of Philadelphia. It's actually beautiful. It's just the people I don't like. So that's the birds. Birds are smart. They have a sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that accent is tough to take.
Just a mass suicide.
I always say it's like Ireland fucked Italy and Philly came out. It's like everybody's half Irish, half Italian. It's insane.
There's also, it says they might have effed Boston along the way also. It's a little bit of that in there too.
No, it's Boston, it's Philly, it's parts of the Bronx, anywhere you had Irish and Italian immigrants showing up at the same time. And all of the Irish women saw the Italian guys. They saw, oh, these guys have tans, they dress well, they fucking loved it. And then the Italian women saw the Irish guys who could tell a story and make you laugh. And they were like, oh, we love this.
They can put out fires.
They all got married and they all got divorced.
By the way, back to the birds. I don't even think they flew into the buildings. I actually think they were on the buildings and jumped. You want me to solve this aviary mystery? I'm telling you. Should we save it to next week? But I read disturbing news.
Wait, can I tell you one other thing about birds? We have this sliding glass door in the guest house, and birds fly into it for some reason all the time. So last week, this bird flew in, the cutest fucking bird, and it was laying on the ground. Its head was 180 degrees behind it, and it was so fluffy and cute. And it was like, it had like a little tremble that it was going on. It was like, convulsing. And I was like, I can't let this thing die like this. This is fucking terrible. So I have this 50-pound kettlebell. And I picked it up and I said to Erin, I said, I think I got to put it out of its misery. And she's like, no. I was like, Erin, this is fucking cruel. This is nature. You got to end this thing's life. Look at its fucking neck. So I pick up the 50-pound kettlebell, and I'm holding it over the bird. Oh. And all of a sudden, the bird fucking jumps up and flies away.
That's great. That's almost like that Tim Leary story where they were tripping and they almost cut open the dog to massage its heart, and the dog was fine. It was just like napping. Oh my God. I thought I was being noble. I really felt like a man for a change around the house. Like, no, woman, this is how a man handles nature. Meanwhile, I think she could have been like, man, you can just step on it. You don't need a 50-pound kettlebell for a bird the size of your palm. I thought the twist in your story was like, so I picked up the kettlebell and I stepped on the bird's head. I wanted 50 more pounds on me just to make sure that step landed. Oh, wait, boy.
What were you going to say?
No, I was going to change subjects. I think we talk about it another week. Let's push this subject to next week. The Northeast, really, really disturbing headline I read. Now that they've kind of figured out, for better or worse, Zoom classes and virtual distance learning, the school boards in the Northeast have announced there will never be another snow day again.
Oh, right.
So maybe we move that to next week because that's pretty.
Yeah, let's talk about that next week.
That's
that'll give me a week
to
wrap my head around that shit. Jesus. Yeah. All right, international.
What do we got?
Finnish Airlines is offering, ready for this?
Yeah.
Would-be travelers who missed the taste of airline food among the COVID-19 pandemic the chance to bring in-flight meals home. they announced the airline-inspired Taste of Finnair meals will be available Thursday at the K-City Mart stores. The meals are inspired by Nordic and Japanese flavors and seasonal ingredients. The menus include, for example, Finnish smoke and reindeer.
Okay. So I did hear about, have you heard about flights to nowhere? I think
No.
we covered that one week. People are, I think it was happening in Australia particularly, they would get on a plane, fly around, and then land in the same airport they took off from, and these were selling out.
No shit.
And the pilot would like point out there's the Great Barrier Reef, but people were so stir crazy and stuff. And I think it was pretty safe down under. I think maybe they had things under control. So yeah, people were doing that. I don't think they were, I don't think they were doing it for the food.
I wonder if you get frequent flyer miles for that. I mean, if you're
Nope.
landing in the same place, have you gone a mile?
Also, you're like, how did you lose my luggage? I mean, every time
All right.
we didn't even have a layover.
Yeah. Now with this food that they're offering, the airline food, they also, for an extra $50, they will bring a fat Mexican woman who sits an inch from you, holds rosary beads, and cries throughout the meal.
Well, there's our fat woman. We got one in there.
Also, while you're eating, they do announcements about a new credit card offer in your
Well,
own house.
I'm sure there's a gazillion puns that like the only reason people finish food, finish food. What?
Yeah.
Why are people paying? So I guess this airline figured out airline food?
Maybe like I'm sure it's just the first class. I don't know. Maybe in coach they give you smoked reindeer.
By the way, is it that we've lowered the bar so much and like, you know, we live like pigs so much in school and you're on the road constantly? I always liked airline. Like I never related to the most, you know, common stand-up sort of trite material of airline food. Like I never bought into that. I'm always like, I think it's pretty good.
We're Irish. That's the problem.
That's another thing, I guess.
thoroughly enjoy hospital meals, hospital trays,
Yeah.
airplane food. I don't give a shit as long as it's fucking, not hot. I don't even like spicy. Just give me simple food I can put in my belly.
Who's the snob that's like the roll's a little cold and not that soft? Like what are you doing at home?
You're right. Right.
How are
It's
you
like-
timing your meal so perfectly that the bread's delicious
Yeah.
and then the rest of your stuff's hot?
Right. Have you seen the kitchen on the plane? It's smaller
true.
than the bathroom.
All right, finish here. Hats off. All right.
Oh, we just got a sad text. Just came in. Our dear friend lost his father. We knew he was sick.
Oh, no, really?
But yeah, duds. Peace and love to your dad.
That's too bad.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
maybe I should turn off the. There's our obituary for today.
maybe he's just rubbing in your face that his dad lived so much longer than yours. See, there's always a positive
There
spin.
you go.
Is
Right.
that positive?
Pompeii, a contrite.
Sorry, Duds, we're moving on very quickly. I don't even know why Greg just got distracted by a text. Does your text come up on your computer?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't do that.
Yeah, I shouldn't have that. I shouldn't
Yeah.
have that.
All right, I
Anyway,
guess
we
moving on
love
to
you,
Pompeii.
Duds. We love you. We love your family. And call you later. A contrite Canadian woman who took pieces from the ancient Italian city of Pompeii 15 years ago returned the fragments with a letter explaining how they brought a curse to her life. The woman said she visited Pompeii when she was young and dumb. She sent a package containing two tiles. She said she experienced a string of bad luck since the theft that included 2 bouts of breast cancer. Were the tiles made out of asbestos? Why were they such bad luck?
Did she watch that Brady Bunch, the Hawaii episode where they got cursed when they stole
Right.
a little voodoo doll or whatever it was? What? So the best is this nice. I'm just reading the story now. But this nice gesture was like, it's still selfish.
Yeah.
She's only sending it back. Like, it's like, hey, Pompeii, let's say they are bad luck. You have the bad luck because you've had a good run since the volcano.
That's right.
Here you go.
Yeah. Tourism is up.
Yeah.
We went there when we were in Italy a few years ago. Fucking
nice.
So cool. You know what's crazy is you go into like some of the buildings and there's pornography on the walls. There's like paintings of sexual positions, and it's like the Kama Sutra. There's like, you know, women reverse cowgirling, three ways, huge cocks.
You know about when I took my girls to the Pompeii visit, the Pompeii exhibition in LA.
No.
Took them there, right? And a lot of people are like, you know, there's some tough stuff. Like there's the, you know, all the babies and dogs and trapped in lava. Yeah. So we go in, I'm like, no, I know. And I still think they can handle it. So they're pretty young though. So we go into the Pompeii exhibit. The first room is all artifacts that have been preserved. So it's just, you know, pottery, glass, just all this stuff from that age, which was frozen in time, right? So fine. Then we get to the end of that room. We have not seen any of the bodies yet. We haven't seen like the mom hugging the baby as the lava like froze them, or obviously didn't freeze them, but captured them. So we get there and there's a security guard and there's curtains down before you can walk into the next room. And he's like, he sees my two girls and he's like, sir, he's like, you know that there's this, you know, this changes tone a little. I forget the words he used. And I'm like, no, I got it. I've actually talked to them a lot about it and all. He's like, all right, I just want you to know, like, so the next room, there's some graphic stuff that you're going to, you know, I just want to make sure you know that the kids are going to see that. I'm like, I got it, Pompeii, I got it. We go in and it's exactly that. Everyone is having sex on the walls in all these different positions. I mean, blowing, doggy style, from behind, and I'm like, what? And what had happened was Pompeii also preserved this whorehouse. Perfectly preserved
it. That's what it was. Right.
And on the wall were menus. And all the positions were numbered. And so I'm with my kids. I'm like, and they're like, Daddy? I'm like, no, come on, let's get to the dead kids. Let's get to the dead kids and puppies. Let's go. Like, where's the room with the dead kids? Where's the mom holding the baby with her hand up like, I'm melting. Let's get to that.
You kids want to go out for ice cream after this? Cheer up a little bit?
Meanwhile, that guard, I was so dismissive of the guard. He tried to tell me 3 times. Yeah. I'm like, they've seen it. Yeah. Don't worry.
Right. Meanwhile, it's like a menu at a Chinese restaurant. You're like, I'll have the reverse cowgirl and then the chokehold with a side of foot fetish.
Yeah. Right. Are you running specials? Is there like is this all a la carte or is there like a tasting menu?
All right, let's do our favorite new segment. You love it. Florida Man.
Wasn't even trying once again. Found a story. I saw a headline that I liked. Incensed over a pair of scathing reviews on Yelp, the owner of a Florida barbecue joint last night allegedly physically attacked his suspected online critic. Reviewer Sean R. claimed that he wouldn't even feed it to my dog, adding that the eatery's owner, quote, should spend less time threatening customers and more time on learning to cook properly. The second review, authored by Rick R., declared that it was, quote, not a great idea to threaten your customers due to you serving garbage barbecue. Investigators charged that Daniel Aarons, 60 years old, jumped atop the male victim and struck him several times while outside his residence in Largo, which is in Tampa. Aarons was arrested in July. So every Florida man story, it's not just the crime, the latest crime you're reading about, they always kind of end like this. Aarons, who's the owner of the restaurant who attacked and beat this guy, allegedly, was arrested in July on multiple felony counts after allegedly punching his girlfriend in the face and placing a pillow over her face for 2 minutes, which in most cases...
Did he put the pillow over her face first? Because that would soften the blows.
Because he's kind of chivalrous if he did that.
Yes.
I don't think so. But also, by the way, putting a pillow over someone's face for 2 minutes is usually called murder.
Yeah, right.
He was also accused of threatening the woman with a wooden board that he used to strike her vehicle.
Wow.
So you get that Florida flavor in all these stories.
No, they've got resumes down there. It's not one-offs. They really build a foundation of Florida hood.
Yeah.
Imagine fucking... Yeah, it's like whenever I see a pickup truck, like you go to the beach in Florida and there's always like some locals, they got a pickup truck with a keg on it and the chicks have on Daisy Duke shorts and the guys have the tight wraparound sunglasses and the mullets. And you just think, I would pay anything to be a fly on the wall and hear that conversation. Just them listing what they've done in their lives. Yeah, and then I was in the joint and I got out and I robbed it. It's just one-upping each other.
Oh, totally. Comparing jet ski accidents.
Meanwhile, me and you talk about our 3 crimes from 20 years ago.
I know. Well, I doubt they listen to us. I think it's mutual.
Yeah. Okay. It's time for entertainment, Mike.
Boom, boom.
We're going a little quick today because Mike is on vacation.
Yeah, yeah. I got
we always say we're going to
keep.
All right, dinner down the road.
I'm going to get on an e-bicycle. Have you ridden these? I mean, I guess all the public bikes are e-bikes now.
No, I've ridden an electric bike. Yeah, they're great.
Well, Jack gave me one where it's even beyond. If you don't want to pedal at all, it has a throttle. You know, I have my motorcycle license, but it has a throttle just like basically a Vespa, an electric scooter, and this thing takes off.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Must be great having your 2 daughters with you on vacation, Mike. Sounds like you're really
No, actually I did the ride with Olivia, and then the 2 girls took off. They're on them now. But also right around here, you have to watch it though. Right outside this window, Mama Moose and her calf.
Oh, you sent me the picture.
Yeah. And then the other day, a fox. And the cool little tidbit on the fox was, because you normally don't see fox. They're sly. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah.
And but an interesting thing happened here when they brought the wolf population back in Yellowstone, which is just up the road. And then the wolves and even the grizzlies, by the way, are down here now in Jackson. When they brought the wolves back, I'm going to slaughter all the nature terminology that I shouldn't know, but wolves and coyotes have overlap. So when the wolves came back, coyotes kind of were a little bit out of luck. Wolves don't have any overlap with foxes, but coyotes have overlap with foxes. So when the coyotes started to lose out, the fox population, just because wolves came back, flourished. So Jack even said he hadn't seen a fox here his first 10 years living here, and now he sees them all the time.
No shit.
Yeah.
I think it's getting like that with mountain lions in California. You used to never see them. And now, maybe because of the fires, they're like out in the open a lot more.
I think that's happening, yeah. But did you see the mountain lion video out of Utah this week?
No. Oh, the guy on a hike?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 minutes. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was
unbelievable.
6. Yeah.
And he did everything right. And do you know, when it did those crazy charges, just Google it, anyone, it was a hugely viral video. When that thing did the crazy charges, he said that was when he took he broke eye contact for a second, trying to look for a rock to throw at it.
Yeah.
So do not turn your back on those things if you see them out on the trail.
Oh, so every time he took his eyes off, that's when it
charged.
Oh, okay. No shit.
Usually you can keep them at bay, but he was lucky because almost anyone that gets attacked by a mountain lion, you don't see it. They're coming at you from behind and they've stalked you.
Right.
And it's all about the neck.
Right for the neck.
All animals, the whole animal kingdom knows to go right for the throat or the neck.
Sometimes the lions go for the asshole. I've seen that. They chase the animal and they bite its asshole and
Really?
they knock it down. Well, that's where you start eating. I think that's the best meat.
I think you're watching the mating videos. And monkeys know to go for the balls because they're advanced. Do you know the first two things monkeys apparently go for are the balls and the eyes?
Wow.
Yeah. It is weird out here. So there's moose everywhere. Like every sign is slow it down, moose crossing constantly. But like there's also tons of land with horses. But the horses must look at the moose like, so how are you guys out there? Because I'm in here and I'm branded. The horses are like branded by their ranch, and I've run out of hay. I'm coming to the gate desperately trying to lean my like neck over to eat the hay that's outside because all that's in here is a shitty field full of shit and no more hay. And the moose you guys get to do whatever you want.
Right.
How did we lose out?
Yeah, that's got to be like birds that are in the zoo. And the other, you ever see that? Like you'll see these giant African parrots, but then the Bronx fucking sparrows show up and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing in there? Where are you from? What are you looking at?"
You're in a cage. No, you're in a cage. No. I'm protected. Good luck out there. All right, we're in entertainment.
Entertainment. I was supposed to watch Social Dilemma this week, but I was quarantined because I played. By the way, thank you, Cleveland. Had some great shows there last weekend at Hilarities. But because I was exposed to hundreds of people, my wife insisted I live in the guest house for the last 5 nights, where I furiously masturbated.
Spreading the virus everywhere.
So anyway,
Did she come to the window and press her boobs up against it? Saddest.
Like Midnight Run?
Yeah, Express.
Midnight Express, yeah. So I didn't get a chance to see it because I want to watch it with the family.
I didn't get a chance to see it. I was alone in my guest house all week.
No, I want to watch it with my daughter because it's an important lesson for her. This movie is apparently very mind expanding.
It is.
Yeah.
You should definitely watch it with your kids.
Yeah.
And they break it down very easy. It's even a little beneath her. You can have younger kids watch it for sure. All right.
Should we talk about SNL?
Well, yeah, but did you see Comedy Store? Our buddy Adam Egget got tons of love in episode 2.
Oh, yeah?
On Showtime.
Oh, that's nice.
No, like real, like I'm not just because he's a friend. I'm not signaling, I'm not biased in this in any way. You'll see. He gets a lot of great love.
Well, look, the Comedy Store was fucking on its last legs. The place was empty. The comedians were fucking tired. And then this guy, Adam Egget, who I knew he used to work at the Tempe Improv. And then
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he came in and took over, and he started bringing in different acts that were a little fresher, that were doing new material, that had a point of view. And then Joe Rogan's followers showed up, and then Segura's followers, and they just started to build up. They became the club. Louis C.K. filmed a special there. What's his name? Why am I forgetting his name? Chappelle. No, Chappelle did a special there. Anyway, Egget turned the place around, and he made it the hottest club in L.A., and the lineups are sick. On any given night, you look at the lineup, and it's like Bill Burr, Bert Kreischer, Joey Diaz,
Jeselnik,
Anthony Jeselnik.
Totally. Bobby
Ali
Lee.
Wong. And so anyway, yeah, he is responsible for the renaissance of the club.
It's great. And Adam's the coolest guy. And anyone fan of Norm Macdonald will know he's depicted hilariously in Norm's memoir. Adam is basically the sidekick in that. And that's how I met him, doing Norm Macdonald's show. Norm needs to be driven everywhere. And when Lori Joe wasn't driving him, Adam would be driving him and picking him up. And Norm would just shit on him constantly because Adam's the greatest roll with it guy of all time. And then they started a podcast together. So a lot of people also know Adam from that.
Yeah. And,
so anyway, have you watched any of this Showtime documentary on the store?
No, because they didn't ask me to be in it. So fuck them.
Oh, interesting. All right. What other entertainment news? Jack White destroyed it on SNL. Did you see it?
Of course, Bill Burr hosted. I thought Bill did a great job.
Yeah.
The monologue was ballsy as hell and smart.
Really ballsy.
It was
my daughters did not like it.
No, my daughter and wife watched it. They had no problem with it. But, you know, the woke people did not enjoy him bringing up certain topics. White women don't want to be told that once again they're co-opting a movement, and they did it. They did it in the '60s. The whole women's right movement in the '60s was co-opted by white women. Black women were marginalized, and it's happening again. And Bill talked about it, and he got a lot of shit. Good for him.
Yeah, no, it was good. And then Jack White, Bill Burr just announced him, and then he comes on and just. And Ball on a Biscuit was like one of my favorite songs easily off of Elephant. And it just has 3 incredible guitar solos in it. And then the second song he came out with a guitar that Eddie Van Halen designed for him.
Right.
And then Jack White tweeted out, I thought it could be a nice gesture for me to use this blue Eddie Van Halen model guitar from one of the songs tonight on SNL. The guitar was designed by Eddie with a few customizations I had added. Eddie was very kind to me and saw to it that this guitar was made for me to my specs. I won't even insult the man's talent by trying to play one of his songs tonight. Thanks again, Eddie, for this guitar, and rest in peace, sir.
But he did do a little fret tap thing.
He
Eddie's
did.
signature move.
He did that for a second, but it was just great to see someone just wailing, and that drummer was incredible too.
Insane. Yeah, it was great.
So that was fun seeing that. That was cool. David Byrne's Broadway show, speaking of great music in New York, David Byrne's Broadway show, American Utopia. I was trying to get to New York to see it before it closed. It was closing in late February, coincidentally. And that is when I decided I was going to go, and then the virus hit. So
he was on SNL like a month ago doing he did a performance from it.
Yeah, and it was great.
Yeah, it was amazing.
They filmed this, and Spike Lee's the director. And so it aired last night. If you're listening to this on Sunday, it premiered last night on HBO.
Oh, no shit.
And apparently it's very uplifting and a kind of a little jolt of positive energy.
Good. I love David Byrne. Jesus Christ.
Really? I mean, so great.
Let's do some sports.
Oh, boy.
As we said, this week, Tampa Bay versus Green Bay. Green Bay gives me a point. We'll see if I win another $50. What's going on in college sports, Mike?
Yeah, here's my favorite, the SEC, which I don't even know much about. I just know I hate them. And we've talked about how racist they are in the past, forcing even northern teams to bench their black players.
Yeah.
So anyway, absolutely F the SEC. This is so great. So Florida coach, the Gator coach, the Gator coach, I guess it was around Sunday or something, said he wants this upcoming week to pack, of course it's called the Swamp. He wants to pack the Swamp with 90,000 fans despite the pandemic. On Monday, they gave him several more chances to clarify confusion regarding his comments about wanting to pack 90,000 college football fans in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium during the coronavirus pandemic. What did he do? He goes, no thanks. Nope, not taking him back, because you know what? I think we just got to live. We got to get out there. That was Monday. Tuesday, University of Florida announced it was pausing all football activities due to an outbreak of positive tests among the team. The first report that the game between the Gators and Tigers has been postponed, and the SEC confirmed the decision shortly thereafter. It was originally supposed to be played in the Swamp, 4 p.m. Saturday. Plans have been scrapped. Additionally, Ole Miss is also, this is the phrase, I grabbed this headline. Ole Miss is also, quote, running low on players, according to Coach Lane Kiffin. So Anyway, it's this domino effect that's going to happen in the SEC because
Now,
they're
did
really
those two teams play each other? Is that how they both got it, or this is unrelated?
I think it's unrelated. I mean, but it's in the same conference. I mean, the game that's being pushed this week was Florida versus LSU.
Yeah.
And this was the game that he wanted 90,000 fans in there. Now they can't even get one player in there. So yeah, it almost came true. Fucking morons, effing morons.
It's unbelievable. There is this feeling in the South, and you look at the spike. Look at the fucking map of the United States and who's got the pandemic right now, and it reads like the Electoral College.
Have you seen, they have an active chart, right, which is video, and it shows the rankings, and then it's like, it's like a time lapse, and they show each date. Basically it was October 10th, October 11th, October 12th. And you just see, and there's a couple of blue states hanging in there, like California is like 15th. By the end, when it gets to now, it is solid red up top. Right. Solid red. It's unbelievable. Right. And my beloved Utah, which, no masks, that's rising through the ranks. But you just see it everywhere.
Guess where else
Florida.
Is rising? Where was that motorcycle rally? South
Dakota. Yeah, you
roof.
see Florida,
right.
Georgia, Texas, all of them rising.
Right. Well, look, we don't wish bad on anybody. We just wish they'd fucking wake up and just say, hey, want to get rid of this thing? Let's all wear masks. Let's just suck it up, be uncomfortable, and follow what the scientists are saying. That's all.
Also, they call the blue side complainers and whiners. Just wear a mask. All you're doing is complaining about a mask and whining about it.
Right.
It's kind of whatever. They say it's easier to fool someone than to tell them they've been fooled. So that's what's going on.
I like that. That. Should we not mention the fact that the Lakers won the fucking NBA championship and we live in LA? Or do we not care?
Apparently that night there was a higher rated baseball game or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So, but yeah, I guess it's a giant. I mean, it has to be an asterisk. No, I mean,
I don't think they are doing an asterisk. I mean, they played pretty close. The thing is, the season lasted 12 months because they started the season. Yeah. I don't know, 12, but pretty close. And but it's so insane that LeBron James has won championships with 3 different teams. That's nuts.
Yeah. He's incredible, man.
Is he the greatest player of all time, or is it Michael Jordan?
I don't know. I mean, I think there's a very good argument for LeBron, who's still going. And not only still going, I watched in the motel room down in Utah, I watched the second to last game, which they almost won and they would have won the championship that night. And LeBron just decides, so beat, so tired, just decides to turn it on because he doesn't want to play another game after that. Right. And he was like fairly unstoppable. And just to see a guy that age, and keep in mind, he's been playing NBA ball since high school age.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he played in the NBA when he was 18, right?
Yeah, I think he skipped college and went straight in.
How his body is even moving. And, the next day from that game I saw, they showed the press conference of the great guy, Baker, I forget his name, on Miami. I stopped following sports. And he got up. It looks like you and I getting up after getting out of the car after 6 hours, okay. He could, and this is a guy in his 20s, but they had just pushed it so hard in that fourth quarter. Yeah. And it's the end of the season, man. Their bodies are beat up. So LeBron still has a lot more to go. That greatest of all time, even if you're still thinking it's Jordan, Kobe's not even, I think, in the top 3. But greatest of all time, I think, if you're still thinking it's Jordan, I don't know if I don't know if it's been written yet, LeBron's career. So there's more there.
There you go. Let's move on to science, Mike.
Thank God.
San Diego Zoo. You want to read this story?
I did read this story. No, you go for it.
No, it's yours. You read it. Didn't you write this down?
I'm reading again. Yeah, I did a lot of work this week. San Diego Zoo scientists revive cells from a 40-year deep freeze to clone an endangered horse. The San Diego Zoo global researchers have high hopes that Kurt can help turn things around for his species. He was cloned from skin cells taken from a stallion in 1980 and safeguarded at the Frozen Zoo, San Diego Zoo Global's vast repository of 10,000 cell lines from more than 1,100 species and subspecies.
I'll tell you who this is bad news for.
Okay.
That guy that jerks off the horses, tries to get him to fuck the mares. He's out of business. What else is he going to do?
It. Well, he can still do it. You're just saying you won't get paid as much for it?
Yeah, it's a hobby.
Even the horses then look at him like, dude, we both know this isn't your job anymore. I don't know. And I don't know why you've increased the amount of times you're doing it.
That'd be funny if you see on one end of the corral, guy shows up with hay and corn, and then that guy walks to the other side, and all the horses go towards that guy.
They have to like him. No horses are running away from that. But this is my first time. That's all caps. That's a formal name, the Frozen Zoo.
Yeah.
Imagine just going like, hey, we're going to this. Oh, you know what? Because of the virus, they closed down the regular zoo, but want to go to the Frozen Zoo? What's that? Well, it's harder to get the virus because it's really cold in there. And basically, we look at animal sperm and animal cells. But yeah, so they have that. But I also read another story that there was we didn't write it down, but semi-related. They had some video of a robotic dolphin. And they're like, this could be the answer. Like this, this horse is the answer to endangered species, that there might be zoos with these cloned animals. And when rhinoceroses disappear, which I think happens like next Thursday, they'll be able to create rhinos and have them in captivity. Well, they have a robotic dolphin, and the dumb headline said, this might be the solution for the waning attendance on all the dolphin
SeaWorld.
parks.
Yeah.
The SeaWorlds out there and all that. It's like, you think so?
Yeah.
You think the people who aren't going now will be, let's go see. Are you going to be like, oh my God, that robot jumped through the hoop?
Yeah, right.
What?
Right. Yeah.
How did they get it to do that?
I know. That's like watching porn of a guy fucking a fleshlight.
Okay.
I feel weird when I do it, but at least no women are being harmed during the taping of it.
I think it would be like a robotic guy having sex with a fleshlight. I think you're even going that because I'll watch a guy have sex with a fleshlight, but a robot,
I bet you that's going to be a new fetish in porn, is going to be people fucking robots.
Well, have you ever seen on porn sites, if you ever like click one of those tabs when because of course we're there procrastinating. So I'll do some reading also. But I'll click on the tab that's like most viewed or that stuff. Do you know how many of like the top 20 are anime?
Oh, yeah. No, it's crazy.
I'm like, what's going on
and
here?
like the women have like giant bulbous asses, huge lips, and it's kind of sexy. I could never use it.
And
I
they
don't think it
endorse
would
Kanye.
work as fuel for me.
Right. All right. So that's your science story. That's good. I guess good for Kurt the Stallion. Cloned.
Yeah.
Doesn't know he's cloned.
All right, let's do some business.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, we forgot pig jaws.
I didn't. I'm looking right at it. I'm waiting for you to read it. You found this weird story.
There's a new use for pig fat. Researchers have used it to create replacement jaw bones. The human jawbone and the connecting joints are difficult to replace. Unlike most bones in the human body, the jawbone is curved, and both the bone and joints need to withstand pressure as we chew. Building off a previous study that grew a small piece of jawbone from human fat, researchers decided to grow the entire jawbone and joint in pigs, which has a similar jaw anatomy to humans. The scientists derived stem cells from pig fat using cow bones as scaffolding to shape the jaw. The newly formed bones and cartilage were then transplanted into pigs who had their jaw bones removed. 6 months after implantation, the researchers found the replacement jawbone had fully healed and was nearly identical to the original. So they're basically farming jawbones in the mouth of pigs. And then I guess they transfer them to the humans?
Well, a lot of guys, have heart, bypasses, they use pig valves.
Oh, that's right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Girls?
that's got to be, it's got to be exciting when, like, your romantic partner,
Yeah.
you think they're going to die, lose their jaw, they go through this therapy, and now you're out in a prairie, you're having a nice
Right.
picnic, you got some wine, and all of a sudden he goes crawling around on all fours, finding truffles. He's like, what are you doing? I found some truffles. That was a long way to go.
I thought you were going to go the much shorter route, which is for the reveal of, I can't wait to see my husband's new jaw. And it's like, why do you have an apple in your mouth? Oh, I had to. This comes with the pig jaw. It's always going to be an apple in there.
That night, it's like, stop snoring.
Yeah. All right. My girls just walked in the room. They've never seen me do a podcast. So let's wrap this up.
Tell them I say hello and I love them very much.
Yeah.
They can't hear you. They can't
Well,
hear
they
me.
can't hear you. Greg says hi.
That's not all I said. What else did I say?
What? I didn't hear. I don't listen to you either. What'd you say?
I said I love them.
Oh, he said he loves you guys. How is thrifting in Jackson Hole? You buy a pair of chaps?
No, I got a flannel and a $4 bag.
A flannel and a $4 bag. I can barely say it. I'm so excited.
All right, let's cut straight to the Sunday funnies. It's that
Ooh.
time.
All right.
Let's start off with our old friend Andy Capp. We know Andy. I mean, let's remember. You read
Are
the
we doing
Sunday.
letter? We're not doing letters to the editor. I have time.
You sure?
Yeah. One of them just decided they're going to shower before we go.
Okay. Letters to the editor. First one is
Don't wash it. Yep.
I can't read this. I seem to have a crush on you two from Joanne.
Oh.
How about that?
I think
We should have a show just for Joanne's because they fucking love us.
that's what I was under the impression that's what we're doing.
No. Other people. We got letters from other people.
No, that's why she likes us. Because, well, at least she could probably sense from me, Joanne, I am just doing this show for you. I am just now learning that we have other listeners. I thought you were buying all the floating furniture and doing all the gambling and protecting your software and hardware.
Right.
Those ads are for you, Joanne.
Joanne's pounding on a floating table as Green Bay doesn't make the spread.
Exactly.
So Greg and Mike, how you doing? Just wanted to say my boyfriend and I love your show.
Whoa.
He first showed me you two when y'all were doing your New Year's guesses. I instantly fell in love with Mike's commentary.
Whoa.
Greg, you're great, but Mike's sensitivity and comedic voice makes my heart swoon.
Is this a same-sex couple? Is this where this is leading?
Anyway, I wanted to weigh in on the robot cheating debate. My boyfriend and I had a lengthy convo about this. I don't remember his position since I was too stoned, but here's my 2C. I work in the tech world with experience bringing AI to consumers, so I'm familiar with the capabilities of AI. My answer is a sex doll with simple programming is not cheating. It's like It's like a fleshlight on steroids, a magic wand that's really magical, or just an oven ready to toast a bun.
Huh.
Since artificial intelligence can learn, there's an emotional connection that could form. I'm thinking of a relationship like Joaquin and ScarJo in Her.
Whoa, my favorite movie that year.
I would never want my boyfriend to sleep with AI. That bitch could fuck some shit up, drain all my accounts, and put me on a Megan's list if she wanted to. We're not there with tech yet, but machine learning is getting stronger every day. So, she doesn't trust her boyfriend with AI, but she's saying you should.
I see. Wait, Oh, wait, what's that last line?
Anyway, I love you guys. We listen every week, and Greg, I too have always been in love with Blondie from a young age. She is beautiful and that waist, oomph. As a thank you for all that you do, here's a pic from when I was in my prime as a nude art model. Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh.
Love you guys, Miranda. Did I not send you that photo?
I think I am now yes, I think I did see that.
She
it
was
very
like, she's Latina and
Miranda.
she's in like a completely see-through bathrobe, curled up on a couch.
Oh, wait,
with a
I remember
rocking
this.
Body. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my
very
God. Then I
nice.
looked up Miranda on Instagram, and her boyfriend's gorgeous too. So there's that.
Yeah.
There's that foiled all the fantasies.
But she said, here I was in my prime. And she had a link to her Instagram. So I did look. And
Prime. How old is Miranda? How
still
old do you
looks
think
great.
Miranda?
I don't know what prime means. She still looks great.
Yeah. Miranda, stop beating yourself up.
I know. Leave that to your boyfriend.
Yeah, I hope he's violent.
Christian Corner said, Christian
Thanks
Corner?
for the letter, though.
Is that a real name, Christian Corner?
I don't know. It sounds like a Sunday morning talk show like this one. Welcome back to Christian Corner. Coffee Clutch, Christian Corner.
The Sunday papers are, remember Kiner's Corner? Ralph Kiner, who was a famous New York Met. He used to do a sports wrap-up show
I
called
bet we didn't get a
Kiner's
nude
Corner.
photo from Christian Corner.
Nope. Just
Okay.
a cross and a picture of a fish.
Okay.
The Sunday papers are one of the few things that make me laugh this year. Thanks so much. There's a biker bar in Palmetto, Florida, at a large intersection where several highways and local roads come together. There are no less than 7 roadside memorial markers within a quarter mile around the bar. Every several months, another one pops up. I don't mean to laugh, but
I am.
no helmets, Dad. They don't wear helmets in Florida. I don't think.
Yeah, no, they don't. There's no helmet law there, and they don't wear them.
Yeah.
Listen, I have a motorcycle license. I grew up on them. I now have a very effeminate scooter. But just put a brain bucket on, will you?
Yeah.
Because, by the way, the reason it's law in many places, this is very much like the mask controversy, actually. People feel like it infringes their rights and that the state and the government has no right to tell us to wear a mask. But what happens is, and I'm sure there's a better argument and I'll get this wrong, but I believe a lot of it was they would rack up, people without health insurance and stuff would rack up these giant medical and doctor bills that other people were paying for.
Right.
In other words, so there is a limit to your rights, just like with the mask when it affects other people. But just put on a brain bucket anyway. Look at all the roadside memorials. Even
Right,
the Christian Corner can't get over it.
You're in a bar. Okay, you're coming out of a bar into Florida where the average driver is 86 years old and can't see over the steering wheel anymore, and you've been drinking.
Yeah.
This comes from Elliot Paulson.
Let's get back to Miranda. Go ahead.
If I remember correctly, the artist name of your chosen theme song for a recent Sunday Papers was John Barron. Did you know that moron, whiny bitch criminal president of ours used to call up New York newspapers using the alias John Barron? He would say he was Mr. Trump's publicist and do what he does best, lie. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Trump used to call up Page 6 in the Post, the Daily News. He used to call up Variety, and he would give gossip about himself, saying he was his own publicist. I didn't know that we got duped.
Wow. I wonder how John Barron handled the virus. I wonder if John Barron could tell us what's really going on.
Yeah. We need John Barron again. Quick obituary. Besides, obviously, Dudley's dad. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Colonel John Russell was a U.S. Army veteran of World War II and the oldest living Olympic medalist. An equestrian who took bronze in the team jumping event at the 1952 Olympics. Russell served I guess he was 100 years old when he died. He served in the mounted 104th Cavalry of the National Guard during World War II, fighting in Africa, Italy, and Germany. He was honored with the Purple Heart, a Bronze Star, and the Soldier's Medal. It was as a soldier in the U.S. Army that he competed in his first Olympics in 1948. I mean,
Wow.
Look at our fucking lives. Look at our lives. You've got, I'm in Wyoming and I saw a fox. Oh, really?
That's pretty good.
I played golf this morning. This motherfucker is on a horse in Africa. He's on a horse fighting for his country. Think about how warfare has changed. He literally had a bunch of other guys and they were like, charge with what do they have? Muskets?
Yeah.
That's a life.
You know, I never thought about the 48 Summer Olympics in London. What a celebration that must have been.
Right. I know.
Because Berlin was what, 44 to 40? No, 38?
I think it was
so
38.
illiterate.
No, it would have been
Jesse Owens in Berlin.
Yeah, that was probably
Hitler
38.
watching had to
Yep.
be 38, right?
Yep.
42 was probably canceled. 44 was probably canceled.
But London was decimated. So how did they erect enough arenas to have an Olympics? Maybe they weren't as big back then.
You jump over the rubble. That's what this guy did. And then the decathlon was just picking up rocks and throwing them.
Yeah.
And
right.
yeah, you did what you could.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it was like the marathon in the streets and then ending. Was there still a stadium? Yeah, I have a lot of questions.
Yeah. But what a guy.
Also,
What
were
a
they
guy.
scheduled to be in London, or were they like, okay, look who won the war, so the good guys are going to get it's not going to be in Russia. Well, actually, Russia won also. What am I saying? It could have been in Russia, but we're going to give it, London. Like, I wonder if it was planned or if it was, we've decided after the war was won, we're announcing it's London. I'm going to look that stuff up.
Were any of the Axis powers allowed to compete? Was Germany allowed in? Was Austria? Was Austria an allied power?
You're Japan.
Italy, Japan.
Yeah. Well, it's,
Wow.
the evil axis was Italy, Japan, and Germany. But yeah, of course.
Wow.
Austria, of course, was already by 48. Like, no, we weren't with him, really.
Yeah.
He came in. Yes, we looked the other way a little.
Yeah. You've never had a house guest that turned out to be a bad guy? Come on. You try to be hospitable.
Yeah.
Let's do the funnies.
Okay.
So Andy Cat, and again, the Sunday Funnies, it's just a nice way to round out the week. You know, say maybe you're a woman that's worked hard all week, cooking, cleaning, and whatever women do. And now you read the papers, you get to the end, and you want some positive messaging. Here's Andy Capp walking out of his living room. His wife is sitting on the floor, and she has circles over her head indicating that she's been beaten.
No, Greg, we don't know that yet. She could have, again, like hit her head on the doorknob or something like that.
Well, now we know, because here's what it says underneath. Quote, "Where's your manners? When we was courting, you used to take your cap off before you hit me." Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha. Good one, Flo.
He's also killing her with his secondhand smoke. Let's not forget that. He's smoking in the house right in front of her.
Yeah, and his fist is still clenched.
His fist, I just noticed that, is still clenched.
Wow.
She has a big rack. You don't talk about that like you talk about Blondie.
I know, and she could use a new man in her life too. Blondie doesn't seem to be leaving Dagwood, but this chick is primed to leave Andy Capp. I mean, how hard would it be to sweep her off her feet? Hi, nice to meet you. I won't punch you in the face. My car's out front.
All righty.
All right, this one comes from Hagar the Horrible, our favorite Viking rapist. And again, so nice for the ladies to have a cup of tea, sit on the couch in the living room, and have, there's a king and a queen laying in bed. And they both are pie-eyed. And he says, "I can't seem to fall asleep." And she says, "Me either." And then you've got the marauders at their window on a ladder saying, we couldn't sleep either as they enter the room to rape her.
And him, probably.
And him. Yeah, he looks weak.
I wonder, Livy, do you have headphones in? Can you?
It's like old school.
I'm wondering about, all right, so whatever. I'm wondering about man rape back then. Like, I guess, am I right in saying there was just as many homosexuals back then? Would you
I would
say?
imagine. Sure.
But clearly you're probably killed, right? I mean, that was probably a very threatening thing.
Yeah, gay bashing was more intense.
I doubt gay Vikings flourished, but they were gay, and they probably were filled with even more rage than your usual Viking.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they took it out, with the people they conquered.
Yeah, I imagine it was bedlam. They stormed the castle, they ran inside, everybody grabbed a turkey leg and some gold, and you start raping a girl. And in the confusion, I fucked a guy. I didn't know we were moving so fast. It's dark. It was a night raid.
Yeah. And but also maybe they looked away the other way a little bit. Like there's the turkey leg and all the usual rape and the pillaging, and then they get to the boat and like, Eric's a little late. He's always a little late to the boat. We don't know where he goes, but he could be with the husband.
Right. Or Eric shows up late on purpose because then all the women are being raped and there's nobody left, so he has to use a guy. Just, because I wanna send a message.
Oh, guys, I told you to wait. You always do this. Oh, I'll take the dude. They're like, Eric, the sloppy eighths is right.
Right. Yeah.
My daughter's in the room. All right.
Oh boy, I see Family Circus.
Yeah, not again. I don't even know why. All right. So again, this is today's. I'm not cherry picking these. Okay. It's little boy doing connect the dots. He's at a desk. The girl is curiously it looks like she's humping him from behind.
It is weird.
It's a little weird, this drawing, the way it's angled, because it's almost like at a what are those?
Like architect table?
Yeah, an architect table that's big and angled. There's a word for those tables. I forget. But anyway.
Drawing table?
Something like that. So she is talking to him and giving him advice because he has the pencil. And she goes, after 10 comes 19, because the dots are numbered as they all are, and connect the dots. Next is 11. Very good. Now to 16, then 25, 20, 17, ... So I don't get this.
And he's drawing the figure, but it doesn't look like anything because he's clearly going out of order. He's not doing it correctly.
So both children are idiots, even her, but counting, I guess his age, I can't even believe I'm expending this much energy on this. Like the youngest kid knows how to count, and usually they know what numbers look like, but that's maybe his excuse. Her?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. There's no character development. If you're going to do comedy, you have two different people and they're different from each other. And in that conflict, you find comedy. You don't have two of the same dumb kids doing something wrong.
You know who hasn't connected the dots is Bill and Jeff Keane.
That's right.
And these are the dots, like a setup and then a punchline. Something of comedic value.
Yeah.
Some little surprise maybe. That's your job. It's your job. You're getting paid for it.
And I love that his writing was, after 10 comes 19. Then he thought, next is 11. Is 11 funny? Good. Now 16. Yeah. Like, there was this, anytime you end your punchline with ... you've given up.
Also, couldn't you, maybe she's doing it because she's trying to mess him up, but there's no indication. Like maybe she's seeing a drawing, like it could be something like it spells I'm dumb or it's just a big penis or something. But like, in other words, she could be playing a joke on him because he just has to trust her. Nothing
right.
like that is in here. Nothing like that. Let's
Right.
just not even give it more time. Oh my God, they're criminal. It's criminal behavior.
Yeah.
Putting out Family Circus every week. Day.
You know, it's not a crime. Blondie.
Yeah. Kind
It
of
is a crime in a
little bit.
way
Yeah.
because the things I do to myself when first scene, as always, shitbag Dagwood is laying out on the couch, not even facing the back of the couch, sleeping. Like, first of all, have you seen the strips where he's at work? He snoozes at his desk. What has he got? Narcolepsy? Does he have low blood pressure? What the fuck is with Dagwood? So this piece of shit's taking a nap. And then Blondie comes in. She's got on a black velvet skirt, cut off at the knees. And again,
like-
I don't
it's
need
like-
to talk about the bowling pin calves that she's got.
Yeah.
Arms on her hips. And she says, I thought you were going to unclog the bathroom sink. Dagwood, without the decency to turn his head and look at his fucking wife, says, I've already started. I'm busy visualizing myself unclogging it, which is basically like turning around and giving your wife the finger.
Yeah.
Then out of frame, she says, can you visualize this deer? And now he swoops off the couch.
She's grabbed him by the neck, apparently,
Yes.
and yanked him off the couch. He's flying off the couch.
And then the final frame is him under the sink with a screwdriver saying, I sure didn't see that coming. I did. I saw it coming for the last fucking 30 years that I've been reading this strip. This chick has been putting up with you. She's codependent. She's a fucking doormat. She found a loser and she finally snapped. God bless her.
Yeah.
I hope that this is a real change.
I thought it was maybe an analogy for their love life, that she needed a little unclogging in her plumbing.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of hair in there.
The
Too much
daughter's here.
hair in this fucking
I'm glad they
drain.
can't hear you. That's one thing the listeners should know, that they can't, because of headphones, they can't hear Gregory.
By the way, I don't know how many people are still listening. I looked on Libsyn, which is our host. You know, you can look and you can see how many people listen to the podcast, and minute by minute, how many people are still listening from the beginning through the end.
Really?
Guess how many people are listening and this isn't just us. I've talked to other podcasters. Guess what percentage of listeners are still listening by the end?
7.
20. We
That's
lose
way more than
80% of the people never hear the Sunday funnies.
That's all right. We should maybe quit earlier.
Maybe we should.
Do you think it's an
but the
accurate? Do you
fall-off-
think it's an accurate thing?
I don't know. I'm going to talk to the guy from Libsyn and find out, because if it is, we need to flip this fucking show around.
Well, they're going to
With the
miss
comics
this
first.
view. They're going to miss this.
Oh,
Can you?
look at that.
I can't see it, but in there. But I'm pointing it that way.
That's
There's
beautiful.
some really nice stuff going on out there.
Yeah. All right,
All
Mike. Well,
right.
enjoy the rest of your vacation. I'm
Thank you,
jealous.
man.
What are you going to hit on the way back?
Well, we decided to stay this extra night. We were supposed to have left today, but the girls wanted to stay, which is not bad because we would have had to drive after school, which means I'm doing a lot of driving at night, and which I don't mind. I sounded like an 80-year-old. The problem with driving at night here is you just see tons of dead animals on the side of the road.
Right.
Deer that you hit, and if you hit those going 75 miles an hour, it is no bueno. So anyway, we're leaving tomorrow morning, stopping in Utah, halfway point, somewhere around St. George-ish, probably a little north, near Zion, and then doing the ride home to LA the next day. Sunday we get home, Sunday evening.
Okay. I love it. All right. Safe trip. Thank
Thank
you
you,
guys
man.
for listening. Thank you to Midcoast Media, Chris Denman, Beth Hoops, who do all of our producing, editing, publishing. You do a great job. And we'll catch you guys next week. Take this paper, stick it into your boots because you're cold. Insulate your boots with it.
I'm just showing some scenery before we go out
and
here.
say goodbye to Wyoming. All right.
There it is.
God bless.
All righty, man. Take it easy.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Sunday papers, taking the news of the day. They don't let facts get in their way. Sunday papers. No, they don't fact check the things they say, but we all listen anyway. Fitzsimmons is on the microphone, Mike Gibbons is always in the zone. They've got the quickest wits, and Craig's obsessed with Blondie's tits. Dear Amy, can you hear them reading from afar? Fitz dog steers the bicycle, and Mike rides on the handlebars. Sunday papers, taking the news of the day. They don't let